Most do-it-yourself hand soaps are either too drying or the pH isn't within a safe range and they're actually not safe to use on your skin. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a Pearly do-it-yourself hand soap that's not only hydrating but is skin safe. I'm going to show you how to measure and adjust the pH in this formula as well. We're going to start by making a slurry with the Guar and the vegetable glycerin. The reason why we make the slurry is if you don't pre-hydrate the Guar, what happens is it'll clump up later, so you want to make sure that you do this part. Just give it a really good mix, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to set that off to the side. Now for our water phase, we have distilled water, our glycerin slurry, and glycol distearate. This is our water phase. The glycerin helps to hydrate, the Guar thickens slightly, and the glycol distearate is what gives that pearly, creamy look to this hand soap. We're going to go ahead and we're going to place these into a heat-safe container and pop it on a double boiler. You're going to want to make sure that it's on a low to medium heat and that you're stirring it while it's on there. You want everything to melt completely, and once it's fully melted, we'll go ahead and we'll remove it from the heat. Now let's go ahead and talk about surfactants. I'm going to use a blend of surfactants in here for a better performance for a hand soap. The sodium lauryl sulfosinate, I'm going to put that on the screen because I know that I didn't pronounce it 100%. Cocamide propyl betaine is going to make this hand soap a little bit more gentle on your skin, and lauramine oxide is going to go ahead and it's going to boost the foam. I like to put all of my surfactants in one container and go ahead and mix them up. And then we're going to slowly pour this into our heated water phase. Mix gently here because you don't want to create a whole bunch of bubbles. Now, if by chance your formula is looking a little bit clumpy, you certainly can go ahead and pop it back on the double boiler until everything's heated in completely. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move into the cool down phase. For this, we have polysorbate 80, sweet almond oil, and our fragrance oil. Polysorbate 80 is so very important in this hand wash. So it's gonna be what takes the oils and gets them to mix in completely so they're not floating on the top. Now you'll notice here that we're using about the same amount of polysorbate as the total amount of oils and fragrance oil combined. That's to make sure that it mixes in completely. So go ahead, we're going to add in the sweet almond oil. What this does is this adds a little bit of hydration into your hand wash, and it improves the way that it's going to feel on your hands. Now this is the cool part. You're going to notice that the oil is floating on top here. And this is exactly why we need the polysorbate 80. So we're going to add the polysorbate in. And we're going to add our fragrance oil in. Now when we mix, you see everything come together. It goes from the oil floating on the top to being fully incorporated into the hand soap. That's exactly what we're going for. We want to make sure that everything combines completely. We're going to leave our hand soap to cool down to room temperature. The reason why we do this is before we check the pH, pH can change depending on the temperature of the hand soap. So we want to check it when it's at room temperature. To test the pH, we're going to make a 10% solution, which is going to be 9 grams of distilled water and 1 gram of our hand soap. We give it a really good mix, and then we test the pH. So we're going for a pH that's between 5 and 5.5. As you can see, we're a little bit high here, so we're gonna have to go ahead and lower our pH. To lower the pH, what you do is you add just a little bit of citric acid and give it a really good mix. Now we're going to want to leave this for a couple of minutes so it can lower the pH. And then we test it again. And we're gonna repeat these steps until we get in that range of a 5 to 5.5 for our pH. It's better to add a little bit at a time so you don't lower it too much. So it might take you a couple of times to figure it out, but it's not going to take very long at all. Now that we're in that safe pH range, we can go ahead and add our preservative. I'm using liquid Germall Plus, and we're going to give it a really good mix. Now our hand soap is complete and we're ready to go ahead and package it. You'll want to use a foaming pump bottle like this one because the formula is too thin for a regular soap pump. Now, you'll notice that you're not going to want to fill this all the way because if you fill it all the way to the top, there's no room for the cap and it kind of spills over. So make sure you leave a little bit of head space. And look at that foam. You get a really nice, light, fluffy lather that feels clean without drying your skin and is safe for your skin because you're within that 5 to 5.5 pH range that you want to be at. So when you use this hand soap, you're going to be absolutely obsessed. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Now, if you don't have all of the ingredients or if you're looking for substitutions, I do have them available on my website, which is summerrain.website. I also have a full printable recipe over there. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy making and using your hand soap as much as I did. And if you haven't done so already, be sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below so we can create together.